The morning sun rose slowly over the human colony on planet Kepler 442b. The orange light painted the metal buildings in warm colors. Birds sang in the strange purple trees that grew around the settlement. Everything looked peaceful and quiet. Commander Taman Park stood on the observation deck of the main building. He held a cup of hot coffee in his hands. Steam rose from the cup in the cool morning air. Taman was 45 years old with short black hair and calm dark eyes. He had been a soldier for 20 years before coming to this distant planet. Another quiet day, he said to himself, watching the colonists start their daily work. Down in the mining area, workers were already busy. The colony had been here for 3 years. They dug deep into the planet's surface to find rare metals. These metals were very valuable back on Earth. The colony had 200 people living here. Most were miners, engineers, and their families. Dr. Jiwoo Kim walked quickly to the medical building. She was the chief doctor for the colony. Jiwoo was 38 years old, with long black hair, tied back in a neat style. She wore a white coat over her blue uniform. Today she had to check on Mrs. Han, who was having a baby soon. "Good morning, Dr. Kim," called out Hyunwoo Lee. He was walking toward the engineering section. Hyunwoo was 26 years old and worked on the mining machines. He was tall and strong from years of physical work. His hands were always a little dirty from fixing equipment. "Morning, Hyunwoo." Jiwoo replied with a smile. "How are the new drill machines working?" "Very good. We should find more metals today," Hyunwoo said proudly. The colony felt like a small town. Everyone knew each other. Children played in the safe areas while their parents worked. The air recycling systems hummed quietly. Life here was simple but good. In the communication center, Sujin Park monitored radio signals from space. Sujin was Commander Park's daughter. She was 20 years old with bright eyes and quick hands on the control panels. She had studied communications on Earth before coming here with her father. "Dad, everything looks normal in space," Sujin reported over the radio. "Good work," Taman replied from his office. But something was wrong. Sujin noticed strange signals. On her screens they were very faint but getting stronger. She frowned and adjusted her equipment. The signals did not match any human ships. "Dad, I'm getting some weird readings," Sujin said into her radio. "What kind of readings?" Taman asked. "Unknown ships?" "Big ones. Coming this way." Taman's coffee cup stopped halfway to his mouth. He set it down carefully on his desk. "How many ships?" Sujin worked quickly on her controls. Her fingers moved fast across the buttons. The screens showed more and more signals. "I count 12 large ships. Maybe more. They're huge." "Dad, sound the alarm," Taman ordered. The colony's warning sirens began to wail. The loud sound echoed between the buildings. People stopped what they were doing and looked up at the sky. Parents grabbed their children. Workers dropped their tools. Hun-Woo was fixing a drill when the alarm started. He looked up and saw dark shapes appearing in the sky. They were still far away but getting bigger. "That's not good," he said to himself. Dr. Kim was with Mrs. Han when they heard the sirens. "Don't worry," she told the pregnant woman. "Just stay calm." But Jiwoo was worried. She had never heard the emergency alarm before. Through the window, she could see people running toward the underground shelters. The alien ships grew larger. In the sky, they were dark gray with strange designs on their hulls. The ships were enormous, much bigger than any human vessel. Red lights blinked on their surfaces like angry eyes. Commander Park's voice came over the colony's speakers. "All civilians to the emergency shelters immediately. This is not a drill. All defense personnel to your positions." The colony had some weapons, but they were meant for protecting against wild animals, not alien warships. Taman knew they were in serious trouble. He grabbed his military rifle and ran toward the command center. The first alien ship landed in the open area outside the colony. It was the size of a city block. The ground shook when it touched down. Steam hissed from its landing gear. A large door opened in the ship's side. Creatures walked out of the ship. They were tall, about 8 feet high. Their skin was dark green and covered in scales like a lizard. They had long arms with sharp claws. Their heads were shaped like triangles, with yellow eyes and rows of sharp teeth. These were they were warriors from across the galaxy. They conquered planets and took whatever they wanted. To them, humans were just another weak species to destroy. The Vorthok leader was General Krekstar. He was bigger than the other aliens, with scars covering his scaly skin. A red symbol was painted on his forehead. He carried a weapon that glowed with blue energy. "Begin the attack," General Krekstar commanded in his own language. His voice was deep and harsh like grinding rocks. The alien weapons fired beams of bright light at the colony buildings. The beams cut through metal like it was paper. Explosions shook the ground. Windows shattered. Pieces of buildings flew through the air. Hyunwoo was running toward the shelters when a beam hit the ground near him. The explosion threw him against a wall. His ears rang from the loud noise. Smoke and dust filled the air. "Everyone stay low," Commander Park shouted over his radio. "Get to the underground areas." Dr. Kim helped Mrs. Han move toward the medical building's basement. Other people were already there, hiding behind thick walls. The pregnant woman was scared and breathing hard. It's going to be okay, Giwu told her, even though she was not sure it was true. More explosions rocked the colony. The aliens were destroying everything on the surface. Their weapons were much stronger than human technology. The colony's few defense guns fired back, but their shots barely damaged the alien ships. Su-Jin was still in the communication center, trying to send a distress signal to Earth. Anyone receiving this message, the colony on Kepler 442b is under attack by alien forces. We need immediate help. But Earth was many light years away. Even if someone heard the message, help would not come for months or years. The medical building shook as another explosion hit nearby. Dr. Kim looked up at the ceiling. Cracks appeared in the concrete. Dust fell like snow. We need to get deeper. Underground, she said. Hyenwu made it to the nearest shelter entrance. Other colonists were crowding through the doorway, trying to get to safety. He helped push people through faster. Come on, move, he shouted. An alien beam hit the building. Above them, the structure began to collapse. Chunks of metal and concrete fell toward the people below. Look out, Hyenwu yelled. He pushed 3 people out of the way of falling debris, but he could not avoid it himself. A heavy piece of concrete struck his left leg. He heard a terrible, cracking sound and felt sharp pain shoot through his body. Hyenwu fell to the ground. His leg was twisted at a wrong angle. Bones stuck out through his pants and skin. Blood began to pool around him. Help, someone help him, a woman screamed. 2 miners grabbed Hyenwu under his arms and dragged him into the underground tunnels. He gritted his teeth against the pain. Every movement sent fire through his broken leg. The colony above them was being destroyed. The Vorthok soldiers walked through the ruins, looking for humans to kill. Their yellow eyes glowed in the smoke and darkness. Commander Park gathered his remaining people in the main underground chamber. About 150 colonists had made it to safety. The rest were dead or trapped above. We can't fight them with weapons, Taemin told his officers. They're too strong. We need another way. Dr. Kim arrived, carrying her medical supplies. She saw Hyenwu lying on the floor with his broken leg and rushed to help him. This is bad, she said, examining the injury. The bone is completely broken. You need surgery immediately. Can you save the leg? Hyenwu asked through gritted teeth. I don't know, but you won't be walking for months, even if I can fix it. Above them, General Krekstar surveyed the destroyed colony. To him, this was just another easy victory. Humans seemed no different from the dozens of other weak species his forces had conquered. Search the underground areas, he ordered his soldiers. Kill any survivors. The real battle was about to begin, but none of the aliens knew they were about to face something they had never encountered before. They were about to learn that humans were very different from every other species in the galaxy. The broken leg of one young engineer was about to change everything. Dr. Jiwoo Kim knelt beside Hyenwu in the underground medical area. Emergency lights cast strange shadows on the tunnel walls. The air smelled of dust and fear. Other injured people lay on makeshift beds around them. Hold still, Giwu said, examining Hyenwu's broken leg. This is going to hurt. The bone was sticking out through the skin. Blood covered his torn pants. Jiwoo had seen many injuries before, but this one was very bad. In a normal hospital, Hyenwu would need months of bed rest after surgery. How bad is it? Dr. Hyenwu asked. His face was pale from pain, but his voice stayed steady. Very bad. The bone is broken in 3 places. You have lost a lot of blood. You should not move for at least 6 months. 6 months. Hyenwu tried to sit up, but the colony needs everyone who can fight. You cannot fight with this injury, Giwu said firmly. You can barely move. Watch me, Hyenwu said. He grabbed the wall and pulled himself up. Pain shot through his leg like lightning. He gasped and almost fell back down, but he did not give up. Step by step, he forced himself to stand. Jiwoo stared at him in shock. That should be impossible. You should be unconscious from the pain. It hurts, Hyenwu admitted, but I can handle it. He took 1 step forward. His broken leg dragged behind him. Every movement caused terrible pain, but he kept walking. Other people in the medical area stopped and watched in amazement. You are going to make the injury worse, Giwu warned. Then fix it as much as you can, Hyenwu said. But I am not staying in bed while aliens kill my friends. Dr. Kim had never seen anything like this. She quickly cleaned the wound and used metal rods from broken equipment to make a splint. She wrapped the leg tightly with bandages. This will help a little, she said, but you really should not walk. Thank you, Dr. Hyenwu said. Now I need to find Commander Park. He limped away into the tunnels. Every step looked painful, but he did not stop. Jiwoo watched him go, wondering how any person could function with such a serious injury. Meanwhile, the Vorthok soldiers were entering the underground tunnels. Captain Nexville led a group of 6 warriors. He was 7 feet tall with dark green scales and bright yellow eyes. Scars covered his arms from many battles. Find the humans, Captain Nexville ordered his soldiers. Kill them all. The Vorthok moved through the tunnels like hunting animals. Their claws clicked on the stone floor. They could see well in the dark with their yellow eyes. In Vorthok society, injured warriors were left to die. If you could not fight, you were useless. This was their way for thousands of years. Only the strong survived. Captain Nexfell turned a corner and saw something strange. A human was walking toward him in the tunnel, but this human was injured. His leg was clearly broken. He should be lying down, dying quietly. The human was Minwoo. He carried ammunition boxers for the human defenders. His broken leg dragged behind him, leaving drops of blood on the floor. But he kept moving forward. Impossible, Captain X said in his own language. Taihan Wu saw the alien warrior. He dropped the ammunition boxers and picked up a metal pipe from the ground. The pipe was not much of a weapon, but it was all he had. You should be dead, Captain Nexful said in broken human language. Your leg is broken. Yes, it is, Haiyan Wu replied. So what? The alien was confused. This made no sense. Injured creatures did not fight. They crawled away to die. This was the natural order of things. Captain Nexfall raised his energy weapon, but something made him hesitate. The human's eyes showed pain, but also determination. It was unnatural. Haiyan Wu attacked first. He swung the metal pipe at the alien's weapon. His broken leg made him slow, but the narrow tunnel worked in his favor. The alien could not use his size advantage. The alien fired his weapon, but the energy beam hit the tunnel wall. Rocks fell from the ceiling. Haiyan Wu ignored the falling stones and hit the alien in the chest with his pipe. Captain Nexfell stumbled backward. This was wrong. An injured enemy should not be able to fight. This violated everything he understood about combat. What are you? The alien asked in fear. Just a human with a broken leg, Haiyan Wu said. He swung the pipe again. The alien tried to retreat, but Haiyan Wu followed him. Every step caused Haiyan Wu terrible pain. His broken bone ground against itself, but he did not stop attacking. Other Vorthok soldiers heard the fight and came running. When they arrived, they saw their captain fighting a clearly injured human. The human was bleeding and limping, but still attacking with fierce determination. Help me, Captain Nexval shouted to his soldiers. But the other aliens just stared. They could not understand what they were seeing. In their minds, this situation was impossible. Haiyan Wu grabbed a fallen energy weapon and fired at the aliens. The beam cut through the tunnel wall near their heads. They scattered in panic. Retreat, retreat, Captain Nexfell ordered. The Vorthok soldiers ran back up the tunnel. Behind them, Haiyan Wu collapsed against the wall. The pain was overwhelming. Now, but he had won. Are you okay? Sujin Park came running down the tunnel. She had heard the fight. I am fine, Haiyan Wu lied. Blood was soaking through his bandages. You fought off 6 aliens by yourself? They seemed scared, Haiyan Wu said. I do not understand why Sujin helped him walk back to the medical area. Other colonists stared at them in amazement. Word spread quickly through the tunnels that Haiyan Wu had defeated alien soldiers despite his broken leg. Dr. Kim was treating more injured people when they returned. She saw Haiyan Wu's fresh bleeding and shook her head. I told you not to fight, she said. The aliens are afraid of injured humans, Haiyan Wu said. We should use that. What do you mean? They do not understand how we can keep fighting when we are hurt. It scares them. Dr. Kim thought about this. She looked around the medical area at the other injured colonists. Dong Haiyan Choi had broken ribs but was still awake and alert. Min Ho Yoon had a head injury but could still think clearly. On her home planet Vorthok with these injuries would already be dead. You might be right, she said slowly. Above ground, Captain Nexfell reported to General Krekstar. The general was a massive alien, even bigger than his soldiers. His scales were darker and covered in battle scars. The humans are hiding underground, Captain Nexfell said. Then kill them, the general ordered. General, there is something strange about these humans. What do you mean? Captain Nexfell struggled to find the words. They continue fighting when they should be dead. I saw one with a broken leg defeat 3 of my soldiers. General Krekstar's yellow eyes narrowed. Broken leg? That is impossible. I saw it myself. General, the human was clearly injured, but he fought like a healthy warrior. Maybe harder. You are afraid of wounded prey? The general asked angrily. No, General, but this is not normal. Injured creatures do not fight. They die quietly. General Krekstar hit Captain Nexfell with the back of his clawed hand. Do not make excuses. Kill all the humans. Yes, General, Captain Nexfell said. But doubt filled his mind. Back in the tunnels, Commander Taman Park gathered his people. About 40 colonists could still fight. Many were injured, but like Haiyan Wu, they refused to give up. We cannot win with weapons, the commander said. But maybe we do not need to. What do you mean? Asked Sujin. The aliens seemed disturbed. By our injured fighters, Timon said. Maybe we can use that fear against them. Dr. Kim joined the group. I have been thinking about this too. The aliens might come from a society where injured individuals are abandoned. Seeing us fight while hurt could be psychologically disturbing to them. So we fight dirty, Haiyan Wu said, leaning against the wall. Use their fears against them. Exactly, Commander Park agreed. We show them that humans do not give up, no matter how badly we are hurt. The colonists looked at each other. It was a desperate plan, but it was their only chance. The Vorthok had better weapons and more soldiers. But maybe they had a weakness that could be exploited. Who was willing to try this? Commander Park asked. Every injured person in the group raised their hand. They were hurt and scared, but they were still human. And humans do not surrender easily. The impossible war was about to begin. Dr. Jiwoo Kim worked in the underground medical area. Emergency lights made everything look yellow and strange. She moved from patient to patient, checking their injuries. What she saw amazed her. Dong-Hyeon Choi sat on a metal box. He was a miner, 40 years old with strong hands. 3 of his ribs were broken from falling rocks, but he was awake and talking normally. Doctor, I can help set traps for the aliens, Dong-Hyeon said. You should be lying down, Jiwoo told him. Broken ribs can damage your lungs. They hurt, but I can handle it, Dong-Hyeon replied. My father broke his ribs in a mine accident when I was young. He kept working for 2 weeks before seeing a doctor. Jiwoo checked his breathing. It was normal. On her medical scanner, she could see the broken bones clearly, but Dong-Hyeon acted like he only had a small bruise. Nearby, Min-Ho-yoon was helping organize supplies. He was 28 years old and worked in the colony's computer systems. A piece of metal had hit his head during the attack. Blood had dried on his face, and he had a serious concussion. Min-Ho, you need to rest, Dr. Kim said. Head injuries are dangerous. I feel okay, Min-Ho said. A little dizzy, but I can still work. Jiwoo shined a light in his eyes. The pupils were different sizes, which meant brain injury. Min-Ho should be unconscious or at least very confused, but he was thinking clearly and helping other people. This is impossible, Jiwoo said to herself. She took out her medical tablet and started writing notes. Something very strange was happening. These people had serious injuries, but they were functioning normally. It was like their bodies could ignore pain and damage. Soojin Park walked over to the doctor. Commander Park's daughter had hurt her shoulder when a wall collapsed. Her arm hung at a wrong angle, but she was still operating the radio equipment with one hand. Doctor, I sent another message to Earth, Soojin said. Still no response. Let me look at your shoulder, Jiwoo said. The shoulder was dislocated. It should cause terrible pain. Soojin's face was pale, and her eyes showed she was hurting, but she kept working without complaining. I can fix this, Jiwoo said, but it will hurt a lot. Do it, Soojin said. I need both hands to work the radio. Dr. Kim grabbed Soojin's arm and pulled hard. The shoulder bone popped back into place with a loud sound. Soojin bit her lip to stop from screaming, but she did not cry out. Better. Jiwoo asked. Jin moved her arm carefully. Much better. Thank you. This was not normal. Jiwoo had treated thousands of patients in her career. Most people would need strong pain medicine for these injuries. But these humans were functioning without any drugs at all. She thought about her medical training. Human bodies produced natural chemicals to block pain during emergencies. But this seemed much stronger than normal. These people were not just surviving their injuries. They were thriving despite them. Above ground, more Vorthok soldiers were entering the tunnels. Lieutenant Vexmar led a squad of 8 warriors. He was younger than Captain Nexfell with bright green scales and sharp teeth. Find the humans quickly, Lieutenant Vexmar ordered. The general is getting angry. The Vorthok moved through the dark tunnels like hunting cats. Their yellow eyes glowed in the darkness. They expected to find weak, frightened humans hiding in corners. Instead, they found something impossible. Dong-Hyeon Choi was placing explosive charges near a tunnel entrance. His broken ribs made every movement painful, but his hands were steady. He worked with the calm focus of an expert. Human, Lieutenant Vexmar shouted. Dong-Hyeon looked up. He saw 8 tall aliens with energy weapons pointed at him. Any normal person would run or surrender. Instead, Dong-Hyeon smiled. Perfect timing, he said. He pressed a button on his remote control. The explosives went off with a huge boom. The tunnel ceiling collapsed, dropping tons of rock on the aliens. 3 Vorthok were crushed immediately. The others were trapped under heavy stones. Lieutenant Vexmar crawled out from under a rock. His left arm was broken. Green blood ran down his scales. He saw Dong-Hyeon walking away calmly, like nothing had happened. Wait, the alien called out. How can you fight with broken bones? Dong-Hyeon stopped and looked back. Broken bones heal. Dead friends do not. The alien stared in confusion. This made no sense. Injured creatures should be weak and helpless. But this human acted like his injuries meant nothing. In another tunnel, Min-Ho-yoon was setting up computer equipment. His head injury made him dizzy, but his fingers worked quickly on the keyboards. He was hacking into the alien ship's communication system. 2 Vorthok soldiers found him working. They expected an easy kill. Min-Ho had bandages around his head, and blood on his clothes. He looked badly hurt. Surrender, human, one alien said. Give me 2 more minutes, Min-Ho replied without looking up. I am almost finished. The aliens looked at each other in confusion. Why was this injured human ignoring them? Did he not understand he was about to die? Min-Ho finished his work and stood up. He was unsteady on his feet from the head injury, but he faced the aliens calmly. Okay, I am done, he said. Done with what? The alien asked. I just sent a virus into your ship's computer system, Min-Ho explained. Your weapons will stop working in about 30 seconds. The aliens raised their energy weapons to shoot him, but the weapons powered down and went dark. The virus had worked perfectly. Impossible. One alien whispered. Minho picked up a metal pipe and started walking toward them. His head was clearly injured. He moved like he might fall down at any moment, but his eyes were determined and fearless. The aliens ran away. They could not understand how a damaged human could be so dangerous. Back in the medical area, Dr. Kim was documenting everything she saw. She wrote detailed notes about each patient's injuries and behavior. This information could be very important. Dr. Sujin called out, "I am getting strange reports from our scouts." "What kind of reports?" "The aliens are retreating from several tunnel sections. Our injured people are scaring them away." Giwu thought about this. In her medical studies, she had learned about different species and their healing abilities. Most aliens had similar pain responses to humans, but maybe their social behavior was different. "Sujin, can you contact Commander Park?" Giwu asked.
Yes.
"Doctor." A few minutes later, Commander Tim and Park arrived in the medical area. He looked tired and worried, but determined. "Doctor, what did you want to discuss?" he asked. "I think I understand what is happening," Giwu said. "Our injured people are frightening the aliens because they do not understand human pain tolerance." "Explain that more," the commander said. "Most species probably abandon their injured members. It is more efficient for survival. But humans care for their wounded and expect them to recover and fight again." Commander Park nodded slowly. "So when they see our injured people still fighting, it confuses them." "More than confuses them," Giwu said. "It terrifies them. They think we are supernatural, or impossible." "Can we use this?" the commander asked. "I think we should," Giwu replied. "We should deliberately show the aliens are injured fighters. Make them think all humans are unstoppable." Sujin looked up from her radio. "Dad, I just got a report from Hyanwu. He chased away 12 aliens by himself." 12? Commander Park asked in surprise. "They saw his broken leg and broken spirit," Sujin said. "The aliens just ran away." Dr. Kim smiled. "Then we have found our strategy. We fight them with fear instead of weapons." Outside in the tunnels, word spread among the Vorthok soldiers. The humans were not normal. They could fight with broken bones and damaged bodies. Some aliens started calling them the undead ones or pain spirits. Lieutenant Vexmar reported back to Captain Nexville. Both aliens looked shaken and worried. "The humans are not natural," Lieutenant Vexmar said. "I saw one with broken ribs destroy half my squad. Another with a head injury disabled our weapons." "This is impossible," Captain Nexville replied, but doubt filled his voice. "We should ask for reinforcements," Lieutenant Vexmar suggested. "The general will not like that," Captain Nexville said. "Then what do we do?" Captain Nexville stared into the dark tunnels. Somewhere down there, injured humans were waiting to fight. The idea made his scales crawl with fear. "We keep trying," he said, but his voice shook when he spoke. The impossible war was spreading fear through the alien army, and the humans were just getting started. General Krekstar gathered his best warriors in the main alien camp. 50 elite Vorthok soldiers stood before him. These were the strongest and most experienced fighters in his army. They had conquered many worlds and destroyed countless enemies. "The humans are making fools of us," the general announced. His voice echoed across the camp. Wounded prey should not defeat trained warriors. The soldiers looked uncomfortable. They had all heard stories about the impossible humans in the tunnels. Some had seen the injured fighters themselves. The stories seemed strange to be true, but the evidence was undeniable. "Tonight, we attack their main hiding place," General Krekstar continued. "We will kill every human, injured or not." Captain Nexfell stepped forward. "General, perhaps we should study these humans more before attacking." "Study them," the general roared. "They are broken creatures. How dangerous can they be?" "Sir, with respect, Warrior Kolthar requested transfer to another galaxy after meeting one human. Elite soldiers are having nightmares about injured humans who will not die." General Krekstar's yellow eyes blazed with anger. "Then our soldiers are weak tonight. I will show them how to kill impossible humans." Deep in the underground tunnels, Dr. Kim was preparing for the most dangerous plan yet. She had convinced Commander Park to try something that might end the war quickly. "Are you sure about this?" Commander Park asked. "The aliens cannot understand humans who fight while injured," Dr. Kim explained. "But what if they see a human getting surgery while still fighting? That should break their minds completely." Hyanwu lay on a makeshift operating table. His broken leg was infected and getting worse. The bone was turning black from disease. Without proper treatment, he would die within days. "Doctor, I trust you," Hyanwu said. "Do what you need to do. This will hurt more than anything you have ever felt," Dr. Kim warned. "I have to cut out the infected bone and replace it with metal. You should be unconscious for this." "No drugs," Hyanwu said firmly. "I need to stay awake and alert. The aliens have to see me conscious during the surgery." Other injured humans gathered around the operating table. Minho set up cameras to broadcast the surgery to the alien communication network. Dong Hien prepared weapons in case aliens attacked during the operation. "Everyone ready?" Dr. Kim asked. "Ready?" they all replied. Above ground, the alien attack force moved toward the tunnel entrances. General Krekstar led them personally. He carried the largest energy weapon in his army. Nothing would stop him from destroying the impossible humans. Remember, he told his soldiers, injured creatures are weak. Do not let their appearance fool you. But as they entered the tunnels, the soldiers' confidence began to fade. Blood stains covered the walls where injured humans had passed. The air smelled of pain and determination. Strange sounds echoed from the depths. In the operating chamber, Dr. Kim began her work. She cut into Hyan Wu's infected leg with a metal scalpel. Black blood poured from the wound. The smell was terrible. Hyan Wu gritted his teeth, but did not cry out. Sweat covered his face. His hands gripped the sides of the table so hard his knuckles turned white. But he stayed conscious and alert. How are you feeling? Dr. Kim asked, while cutting away infected tissue. Like my leg is on fire, Hyan Wu replied through clenched teeth, but I can handle it. Good. I need to cut deeper now. The pain got worse. Dr. Kim had to break away pieces of infected bone with metal tools. Each crack sent lightning through Hyan Wu's entire body, but he never asked her to stop. Minho's cameras were broadcasting everything to the alien ships. The video showed a human receiving major surgery without any pain medicine. The patient was awake, talking, and even helping the doctor by holding tools. The alien soldiers who saw the broadcast stopped walking. They stared at their communication screens in horror. This was beyond impossible. This was supernatural. Turn it off, one soldier whispered. I cannot look away, another replied. Sergeant Rexnell watched the surgery video and began shaking. They are cutting him open, and he is still conscious. How is he not screaming? Maybe humans do not feel pain, a younger soldier suggested. No, look at his face. He feels it. He just does not care. The alien advance slowed to a crawl. Soldiers began finding excuses to stop or turn back. The video of the surgery was destroying their will to fight. General Krekstar pushed forward without watching the broadcast. He did not want to hear about impossible humans anymore. He would see for himself what these creatures really were. In the operating chamber, Dr. Kim was installing a metal rod to replace the infected bone. Hyan Wu had been conscious for 2 hours of surgery. His face was pale from blood loss, but his eyes remained focused. Almost finished, Dr. Kim said. Just need to attach the metal to healthy bone. Take your time, Dr. Hyan Wu said. I am not going anywhere. The drill sound echoed through the tunnels as Dr. Kim worked. She was literally screwing metal into living bone. Hyan Wu watched the process with calm interest, like he was observing someone else's surgery. Does it hurt when I drill? Dr. Kim asked. Yes, but pain is just information. Hyan Wu replied. It tells me I am still alive. Alien soldiers who heard these words through their communication systems began dropping their weapons. The idea of treating pain as just information was incomprehensible to them. Captain Nexville caught up with General Krekstar in the tunnels. Sir, we should retreat. The soldiers are having mental breakdowns. From what? The general demanded. They are watching a human receive surgery without pain medicine. He is awake and talking normally while being cut open. That is impossible. Yes, sir. That is what frightens them. General Krekstar grabbed Captain Nexville's communication device and watched the surgery video. His yellow eyes widened in disbelief. The human on the screen was clearly in agony, but he acted like nothing was wrong. This is a trick, the general said. Special effects or actors, sir. Our medical scanners confirm everything. The human's pain centers are active. His stress hormones are at deadly levels, but his behavior remains calm and controlled. The general watched Dr. Kim sew up the surgical wound. Hyan Wu sat up on the table and tested his new metal leg. He stood up and walked a few steps, even though the surgery had just finished. Thank you, Dr. Hyan Wu said on the video. This feels much better. Rest for at least a day, Dr. Kim advised. Maybe later. I think the aliens are coming for another visit. Hyan Wu picked up his rifle and limped toward the tunnel entrance. His leg was still bleeding from surgery, but he moved with purpose and determination. General Krekstar threw the communication device at the tunnel wall. It shattered into pieces. This is madness. Creatures do not behave this way. Sir, what are your orders? The general looked at his remaining soldiers. Many were sitting on the ground, staring at nothing. Others were crying or shaking with fear. The video of the surgery had broken their spirit completely. They are not natural, one soldier whispered. They are demons wearing human skin. Pain does not stop them, another said. Injury makes them stronger. How do we fight something like that? General Krekstar realized his army was defeated, not by weapons or tactics, but by fear. His soldiers could not understand the humans, and that terror was destroying their ability to fight. Sir, Captain Nexfall said quietly, I recommend immediate evacuation. Evacuation. The general roared. We do not retreat from wounded prey, sir. They are not prey. I do not know what they are, but they are not prey. In the distance, they heard footsteps approaching. Someone was walking through the tunnels, toward them. The sound was uneven, like the person was limping. It is him, a soldier whispered in terror. The one from the surgery? Hyan Wu appeared in the tunnel ahead of them. Fresh bandages covered his leg where Dr. Kim had operated. Blood was already soaking through the white cloth, but he walked steadily toward 50 armed aliens without any fear. "Good evening, Hyanwu," said politely in alien language. "Did you enjoy watching my surgery?" Half the alien soldiers turned and ran. They dropped their weapons and fled through the tunnels like scared children. The others stood frozen, unable to understand what they were seeing. "You should be unconscious," General Krekstar said. "I feel fine," Hyanwu replied. "Surgery is not that bad. Would you like Dr. Kim to show you? She could operate on one of your soldiers while he stays awake." The remaining aliens backed away. In horror, the idea of conscious surgery was too terrifying to consider. "What are you?" the general asked. "Just a human with a newly repaired leg," Hyanwu said. "Now, are you going to leave our planet, or do I need to call my friends? Some of them are much more injured than I am." General Krekstar looked at his shaking soldiers and made a decision that would save his army's sanity. "Retreat," he ordered. "All forces, retreat immediately." The impossible war was ending, but not the way anyone expected. Commander Tamian Park gathered his fighters in the main underground chamber. 23 people stood before him. Most were injured, but all looked ready to fight. The emergency lights cast long shadows on their determined faces. "We are going to try something new," Commander Park announced. "We are going to scare the aliens." "How do we scare creatures twice our size?" asked H.I. Shin. She was a communications officer, 32 years old, with a broken left arm. The arm hung in a makeshift sling, but she held a rifle with her good hand. "By being ourselves," the commander replied. "By showing them that humans do not give up." Dr. Kim stepped forward. "I have been studying our situation. The aliens come from a society that abandons injured members. When they see us fighting while hurt, it breaks their understanding of how life works." Hyanwu limped forward, using a metal pipe as a walking stick. His broken leg was wrapped in bandages, but he moved with purpose. "I fought 6 aliens yesterday," he said. "They ran away when they saw my leg. They kept saying impossible in their language. Then we make it more impossible," Commander Park said. "We show them that every human is unstoppable." The plan was simple but effective. The injured fighters would attack the aliens in small groups. They would make sure the aliens could see their wounds clearly. The goal was not to win battles, but to spread fear through the enemy army. Dong Haeon Choi raised his hand. "Commander, I can set explosives near their landing sites. My broken ribs will not stop me from crawling." "Good," the commander said. "Minho, can you hack more of their systems?" Minho Yoon nodded, though the movement made him dizzy from his head injury. "I can access their communication network. Maybe plant false information to make them more scared." "HHA, can you work with one arm?" Commander Park asked. "I can shoot better with one arm than most people can with two," she replied confidently. Dr. Kim looked concerned. "This is very dangerous. Your injuries could get worse," Dr. Hyanwu said. "Staying hidden down here is also dangerous. At least this way, we fight back." The first mission began that evening. Hyanwu, Dong Hyan, and Minho moved through the tunnels toward an alien patrol. They made no effort to hide their injuries. In fact, they wanted the aliens to see them. Clearly, Sergeant Rexnell was leading 8 Vorthok soldiers through the dark passages. He was a veteran warrior with many battle scars. He had conquered 12 planets for the Empire. Nothing should frighten him. But when he saw the 3 humans approaching, his blood turned cold. The first human was limping badly. Bones showed through the skin of his leg. Blood soaked his bandages. He should be unconscious from pain, but he walked forward with steady determination. The second human moved carefully, holding his chest. Rexno could see that his ribs were broken. Every breath should cause agony. But the human's hands were steady as he carried explosive devices. The third human had a head wound that leaked blood down his face. His eyes were unfocused from brain damage. He should be confused and helpless. Instead, he worked on some kind of electronic device with calm precision. "Retreat," Sergeant Rexnewell whispered to his soldiers. "Sir," one soldier asked in confusion. "Retreat, now," Rexnewell shouted. The Vorthok soldiers backed away from the humans. They had never seen anything so unnatural. Injured creatures did not hunt. They hid and died quietly. This violated every law of nature they understood. Hyan Wu called out to them in broken alien language he had learned from captured communications. "Why do you run? We are only hurt humans." "Only hurt humans" became the most terrifying phrase. In the Vorthok language, the aliens fled through the tunnels. Behind them, Dong Haeyan placed explosive charges with practiced skill. His broken ribs sent pain through his body with every movement, but his hands never shook. "Target acquired," Minho said, finishing his work on the electronic device. "Their communication array is now broadcasting our message." "What message?" Hyan Wu asked. "A recording of humans fighting while injured," Minho explained. "I included medical scans, showing our broken bones. Now, every alien ship will know what we can do." The psychological warfare was working better than expected. Within hours, stories spread through the Vorthok army. Soldiers talked in frightened whispers about the broken humans who could not be stopped. Captain Nexful reported to General Krekstar with increasing desperation. The general was getting angry at the lack of progress. Why have you not cleared the tunnels? The general demanded. Sir, the humans are unusual, Captain Nexvile said carefully. Unusual how? They fight while severely injured. Broken bones, head wounds, internal bleeding. They should be dead, but they attack us anyway. General Krekstar's yellow eyes flashed with anger. Are you telling me that wounded prey is defeating my warriors? Sir, I saw a human with a broken spine drag himself across the ground to detonate explosives. He killed 6 of our soldiers while his back was broken in 3 places. The general struck Captain Nexville across the face. Impossible. Broken spines cause paralysis. Yes, sir, that is what makes it so frightening. Meanwhile, Aicha Shin was leading her own mission. Her broken arm throbbed constantly, but she had learned to shoot accurately with one hand. She took position near a tunnel entrance where aliens had to pass. When a patrol of 5 Vorthok appeared, she opened fire. Her shots were precise, despite using only her right hand. The aliens took cover behind rocks. Surrender, human, one alien called out. You are outnumbered. HI stepped into the open where they could see her clearly. Her left arm hung useless at her side. Bone fragments showed through the skin, but she held her rifle steady and ready. Come, and take me, she challenged. The alien stared in shock. This female human was clearly crippled. She should be crying and begging for mercy. Instead, she stood proudly and dared them to fight. She is broken, one alien whispered. But she still fights, another replied. How is that possible? The aliens retreated without firing another shot. They could not understand what they were seeing. In their minds, injured beings were weak and helpless. But these humans seemed to get more dangerous when they were hurt. Dr. Kim continued documenting everything in the medical area. She recorded video of patients walking around with serious injuries. She measured their pain responses and stress hormones. The data was fascinating. Sujin, are you getting reports from the other teams? Dr. Kim asked. Yes, Dr. Sujin replied while typing with her recently healed shoulder. 12 alien patrols have retreated without fighting. They all reported seeing impossible, injured humans. Excellent. How is your shoulder feeling? Much better. I can use both arms now. Keep using the sling anyway, Dr. Kim advised. If the aliens see you recovered, it might break the illusion. Good thinking, Sujin agreed. The psychological campaign continued for 3 days. Small groups of injured humans appeared throughout the tunnel system. They never hid their wounds. Instead, they displayed them like badges of honor. Warrior Kolthar was part of elite Vorthok unit. He had fought in 50 battles and killed hundreds of enemies. But when he encountered Hyanwu in a narrow tunnel, his courage failed completely. Hyanwu's broken leg had gotten worse. Infection was spreading through the wound. He walked with great difficulty, leaving bloody footprints behind him, but his eyes burned with determination. Get out of my way, Hyanwu said in simple alien language. Kolthar raised his energy weapon, but his hands were shaken. This human should be dead from infection and blood loss. How is he still walking? How is he still fighting? You should be in medical care, Kolthar said. No time for that, Hyanwu replied. I have work to do. He limped past the alien warrior without fear. Kolthar could have killed him, but something about the human's calm confidence made the alien step aside. Hyanwu disappeared into the darkness. Dragging his infected leg behind him, Kolthar stood frozen in the tunnel, trying to understand what had just happened. That night, Kolthar requested transfer to another planet. He told his commander that the humans on this world were cursed or supernatural. Many other warriors made similar requests. The fear was spreading faster than the humans had hoped. But General Krekstar was getting desperate. He knew that failure here would destroy his reputation in the Empire. Bring me the strongest warriors, he ordered. We will attack the human nest directly. Sir, Captain Nexval said carefully, maybe we should request reinforcements first. No, the general roared. We will crush these broken humans ourselves. But deep in the underground tunnels, the humans were preparing their final surprise. Dr. Kim had an idea that would test the limits of alien fear. What if we show them something truly impossible? She asked Commander Park. What do you have in mind? Live surgery on a conscious patient who continues fighting? Commander Park stared at her. That might be too much, even for us. Or it might end this war, Dr. Kim replied. The stage was set for the final confrontation. General Krekstar ran through the tunnels faster than he had ever moved before. Behind him, his elite soldiers stumbled and fell in their panic to escape. The proud Vorthok army was falling apart from pure terror. Move faster, the general shouted. Get to the ships. But it was too late for some of his warriors. The psychological damage was already done. Sergeant Rexnell sat in a corner, rocking back and forth and mumbling about humans who could not be stopped. Warrior Kolthar had not spoken since seeing Hyanwu's surgery broadcast. Captain Nexville tried to organize the retreat, but soldiers were dropping their weapons and running in all directions. The sight of injured humans who continued fighting had broken something fundamental in their minds. Captain, Lieutenant Vexmar called out, what should we tell the Empire about our failure here? The truth, Captain Nexville replied grimly, that we encountered something beyond our understanding. Above ground, the alien ships prepared for emergency departure. General Krekstar reached the surface and saw his army scattered across the landing site. Some soldiers were crying. Others stared at the sky with empty eyes. "Get everyone on the ships," the general ordered. "We leave immediately." "Sir, what about our equipment?" an officer asked. "Leave it all? We are not staying on this cursed planet 1 second longer than necessary." Meanwhile, in the tunnels below, the humans could hardly believe what was happening. Hyen-Woo limped back to the medical area, where Dr. Kim was treating the other injured fighters. "Doctor, they are retreating," Hyen-Woo reported. "The entire alien army is running away." "All of them?" Dr. Kim asked in amazement. "Every single one. I think the surgery video broke their minds." Commander Park arrived with a huge smile on his face. "The surface scouts confirm it. All alien forces are boarding their ships. We won. We won a war by getting surgery on camera," Sujin said, shaking her head in disbelief. "That is the strangest victory in human history." Dr. Kim helped Hyen-Woo sit down so she could check his surgical wound. "How does the new leg feel?" "Much better than the broken one," Hyen-Woo replied, "though I probably should have rested before chasing aliens." "Probably," Dr. Kim agreed with a smile. Dong Hyen-Choi entered the medical area, still holding his ribs, but grinning widely. "I just watched 50 alien warriors run away from one injured human. They left behind enough weapons to equip a small army." "What scared them so much?" asked Min Ho-yoon, who was finally getting treatment for his head injury. Dr. Kim said simply, "We scared them by being human." Above ground, the alien ships were launching into space as fast as their engines could manage. General Krekstar sat in his command chair, trying to make sense of what had happened. "Communications officer," he called out. "Yes, General. Send a message to all Vorthok fleets. Mark this planet as forbidden territory." "What reason should I give, sir?" General Krekstar thought about the humans in the tunnels. Injured creatures who refused to stop fighting? People who could endure surgery while awake? Beings who treated pain as just information? "Tell them the humans here are supernatural," he said finally. "They do not follow natural laws. They cannot be defeated by conventional warfare." "Sir, the Empire will want a full report." "Then tell them everything. Tell them about the human with the broken leg who defeated our best warriors. Tell them about the surgery video. Tell them that injured humans are more dangerous than healthy ones." The communications officer looked confused, but he began typing the report. In space, the Vorthok fleet gathered for the journey home, but the damage to their reputation was already spreading. Other alien species intercepted their communications, and learned about the impossible humans on Kepler 44b. Captain Nextville visited the soldiers in the medical bay. Many were suffering from what human doctors would call post-traumatic stress disorder. They had nightmares about injured humans who would not die. "Captain," Sergeant Rexnell said weakly, "I saw